All right, today we're doing something a little different. We're going to become intellectual detectives. And our main clue? It's just a simple list of academic articles. It might not look like much at first glance, but trust me, this thing is a treasure map.
So, I know what you're thinking. A list of publications? Sounds a little dry, right? But what if this list isn't just a list? What if it's a map? One that shows not roads and mountains, but the shifting landscape of ideas and anxieties.
Because buried right here, in the titles from just one thinker, you can actually see the fault lines of a world in the middle of a massive change. We can decode the big questions, the fears, and the hopes of a society standing right on the edge of a new century. We're going to use this list to take a snapshot of a very specific moment in time.
So, our map maker is the philosopher Ralph Wadenström, and the map he drew for us covers the years 1993 to 2006. Now think about that period. It was a total whirlwind. The Cold War had just ended, the internet was exploding onto the scene, and there was this feeling of deep uncertainty in the air. Wadenström was right in the middle of it, trying to make sense of it all, and his work, well, it's our trail of breadcrumbs.
Okay, before we dive deeper, we got to get a feel for the intellectual weather at the time. Wadenström was writing during what's called the postmodern era. To put it really simply, this was a time of major skepticism. All the big, overarching stories that societies used to tell themselves, about endless progress, about what a nation is, about capital T truth, philosophers call these grand narratives, and they were all starting to crumble. Suddenly, everything felt like it was up for grabs.
And the very first big debate that just leaps off our map is about Europe itself. Right at the turn of the millennium, Europe was asking itself this huge question. After all the conflict, what does it even mean to be European in this new, uncertain world?
You can see in his work that he saw a continent basically caught in a tug of war with itself. On one hand, he's exploring the pull of the old ways, writing about things like nationalism and postmodernism. But at the very same time, he's fascinated by the new, digging into the psychology of European integration, and even comparing the brand new EU to the ancient Roman Empire. It was this incredible tension between the past and the future.
And yeah, you can tell this wasn't just some passing thought for him. He was obsessed. He keeps coming back to it, asking these really fundamental questions over and over. What makes a country European? He's looking at religion's role, the weird, ambiguous feeling of the millennium itself. He was clearly trying to put his finger on the pulse of one of the great anxieties of his time.
Now, at the exact same time Europe was having this identity crisis, another revolution was taking over the entire globe, the digital one. And just like that, a second major landmark pops up on our map, the ghost of technology starting to haunt the old world.
You can literally watch his thinking evolve as the tech itself evolves. Back in '95, he's kind of looking backward, comparing the new digital age to the old world of the printing press. By 2000, he zeroed in on the present, asking how computers are changing politics. And then, just a couple of years later, he's looking at the really personal tech, the mobile phone, and how it's changing who we are.
Let's just stop on that 1995 title for a second. Gutenberg Fossils in the Information Society. Wow. What a perfect metaphor. It just nails the anxiety of that moment, right? This feeling that our old ways of thinking, our linear, book-based Gutenberg minds, were basically becoming fossils in this new, hyper-fast digital world.
And that idea of metaphor leads us straight to the third big theme we can dig up from this list. Wadenström saw that technology wasn't just a tool. He realized that the media we use and the metaphors that come with it don't just show us the world. They actively build it. The line between what's real and what's a representation of reality was getting seriously blurry.
And this had massive implications for, well, everything, but especially for politics. He saw that the whole business of politics was changing at a fundamental level. It was becoming less about substance and more about, well, let's see how he put it, a literal and figurative game. He wrote that in the year 2000. He saw way back then that politics was already turning into a kind of spectacle, a performance for the media. He realized the image, the story, the game was becoming just as important as the actual policy. I mean, that's an idea that feels more real today than ever before.
So, okay, we've got these three huge themes: European identity, the tech revolution, and the power of media. But here's the real magic. The biggest discovery on this map isn't found in any one of these themes alone. It's in how Wadenström connected them all together.
He was connecting ideas that most people would never think to put in the same room. I mean, look at this. He's linking the ancient Vatican with modern IT, calling it a holy alliance of faith and data. He's using the history of the Roman Empire to try and understand the brand new European Union. He wasn't just studying things in isolation. He was trying to see how all these forces were crashing into each other to create a whole new reality. This is what a philosopher does. They find the hidden patterns.
So when you step back and look at the whole thing, this simple list of articles becomes something so much bigger. It's a photograph. It's like a geological core sample, drilled from a very specific moment in history, the exact moment the 20th century was giving way to our messy, digital 21st century world. Wadenström was documenting the birth of our era in real time.
So, if his work was the map of that great transition, it leaves us with one last really big question. 20 years from now, when someone looks back at the articles, the posts, the videos being made right now, what anxieties will they see? What obsessions are going to define us? What will the map of our time look like?